and welcome back to Junk Journal July Embellishments. That is a mouthful to say, and we're on day number 2. This one is really simple. Again, I'm just wanting to use up some of my scrap papers, so I've chosen a selection here, and we're just making a basic pocket. That's all I'm doing. I'm not decorating it, I'm not doing anything else to it other than just making the pockets. So I can cut these to whatever size I wish. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that edge over. This will become one of the sides. And then I'm going to just roughly determine how big I want it to be. So I'm going with about that. Not doing any measuring whatsoever. So that'll make a decent sized pocket. I'm going to trim off this excess here. And then I'm going to open those back out and fold what will be the bottom edge up. And I'm leaving that white bit on. Don't have to cut it off because it's going to the back. No one's going to see it. So might as well leave it on. Okay, so that will be the size of my pocket there. And I'm just going to taper off that bottom corner so that that's out of the way and it makes a neater corner. And I'm going to tape that bottom corner off. And I'm also going to taper that top fold as well. And then I'm going to fold the two edges in, fold the bottom edge up so that that will sit on top. And I'm just going to put a tiny little dab of glue just down here on that side fold so that I can fold that bottom edge up and it would just be held down by that little dab of glue. So then when it comes to sticking this in my journal, I've just got to place glue on those 3 sides, flip it over, stick it down, Bob's your uncle. So I'm going to put a thumb hole in this one. So I've just got my little circle punch, centralise it, punch. That's it, job's a good one. Now with this piece, it didn't print very well, so it missed the printing here. So I'm going to use that as the bottom edge. So I'm going to fold that up so that it's out my way. And that's going to be the bottom edge. So I'm just going to trim that down. So I'm then going to fold this edge over so I can determine how big my pocket's going to be. And I'm going to go for a tall, slimmer one. So about there, I reckon. Fold in that edge. And I think I might even leave this as a rough edge here. Taper those corners again. Fold the 2 sides in. Dab of glue at the bottom. Ooh. Didn't taper that corner, did I? You didn't tell me. You could have told me. Unless of course you were shouting at the screen and I didn't hear you. Dab of glue there. Fold that bottom edge up. And then by the time I've inked all of that up, that will look really nice. So this one I'm leaving as it is, nice straight top. I've done 2 with thumb holes using my circle punch, and this one has got a torn top edge to it, and this other one here, this slightly longer one, I'm going to do a long arch. And I do that by just sort of coming in about 3/8 of an inch, half an inch-ish, and then I'm just going to cut a very slim curve and then straighten it up and go to about the centre. I'm then going to stick some glue, just a tiny bit of glue on that bit that I've cut, and then I'm going to fold that back on itself and stick it down to the top edge of the pocket, and then I can use that as my guide to cut the other side so that they're matching. And then I've got a nice subtle small curve, and then as I say, I'll ink it up and I'll decorate once it goes into my journal. But it means then that I've got a really nice selection of pockets already made up, and I've used up a load of my scraps as well. So here's a load of other pockets that I made earlier as well. I even made one out of a scrappy piece of vellum. So I've got a really good selection now. So definitely more than 5 today. But as I say, they took seconds to make. So you could make quite a few. Hope you'll join me in the next video. See you soon. Bye for now. Bye.